Welcome to Mind Psychology Daily, where we explore the intricacies of the human mind and delve into the depths of psychology. I'm your host, Sigmund Freud, and today we're going to tackle a topic that's both fascinating and unsettling: the shadow self. As we navigate the complexities of our own minds, it's essential to acknowledge the parts of ourselves that we often try to hide, even from ourselves. The question is, are you brave enough to confront your dark side? The concept of the shadow self was first introduced by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist who believed that our personalities are made up of multiple components, including the ego, the persona, and the shadow. The shadow self refers to the repressed thoughts, feelings, and desires that we've learned to hide, often due to societal norms, moral codes, or personal fears. But what happens when we suppress these aspects of ourselves? Do they simply disappear, or do they continue to lurk in the shadows, influencing our behaviors and decisions in ways we're not even aware of? As we explore this concept further, you'll begin to realize that the shadow self is not just a theoretical idea, but a living, breathing part of our psyche that demands attention and acknowledgement. So, let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together, and see where it takes us. The truth is, the shadow self is not something to be feared, but rather understood and integrated into our conscious awareness. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and perhaps, just perhaps, we can find a sense of peace and unity that we've been searching for all along. As we dive deeper into the concept of the shadow self, let's take a look at a real-life example that illustrates its power and influence. Consider the story of a person who, on the surface, appears to be kind, compassionate, and empathetic. However, beneath this facade, they harbor a deep-seated anger and resentment towards the world. This anger is not something they're aware of, at least not consciously, but it manifests in subtle ways, such as through sarcastic comments, passive-aggressive behavior, or even physical symptoms like tension headaches. This is a classic example of the shadow self at work. The person has repressed their anger, perhaps due to fear of being rejected or judged, and instead, it's been pushed into the shadows, where it continues to simmer and influence their behavior. But what if this person were to acknowledge and confront their anger? What if they were to bring it out of the shadows and into the light, where it could be examined, understood, and integrated into their conscious awareness? The result would be a more authentic, whole, and balanced individual, one who is no longer controlled by the unconscious forces of the shadow self. As Carl Jung once said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This quote highlights the importance of confronting and understanding our shadow self, rather than trying to suppress or deny it. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and perhaps, just perhaps, we can find a sense of peace and unity that we've been searching for all along. So, how does the concept of the shadow self apply to our lives today? In many ways, the shadow self is more relevant now than ever before. We live in a world where social media platforms showcase the highlight reels of people's lives, often creating unrealistic expectations and promoting the idea that we need to present a perfect, polished exterior to the world. But what about the parts of ourselves that don't fit into this narrative? What about the flaws, the fears, and the doubts that we've learned to hide? The shadow self is a reminder that we're all complex, multifaceted beings, with both light and dark aspects. By acknowledging and embracing our shadow self, we can break free from the constraints of societal expectations and be more authentic, more vulnerable, and more human. Consider the example of a person who's struggling with addiction. On the surface, they may appear to be functioning normally, but beneath the surface, they're hiding a deep-seated pain and desperation. This pain is a part of their shadow self, a part that they've learned to suppress and deny. But what if they were to confront this pain, to acknowledge and understand its roots and its role in their addiction? By doing so, they may be able to find a sense of healing and redemption, and perhaps, just perhaps, they can break free from the cycle of addiction and find a more authentic, more meaningful way of living. The shadow self is not something to be feared or suppressed, but rather understood and integrated into our conscious awareness. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and perhaps, just perhaps, we can find a sense of peace and unity that we've been searching for all along. So, how can we apply the concept of the shadow self to our daily lives? How can we begin to acknowledge and understand our own shadow self, and integrate it into our conscious awareness? The first step is to become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Take notice of the times when you feel angry, resentful, or fearful, and ask yourself why. What's driving these emotions? What's the underlying cause? The next step is to practice self-compassion and self-acceptance. Rather than judging or condemning ourselves for our flaws and imperfections, we need to learn to accept and love ourselves, just as we are. This includes our shadow self, with all its flaws and imperfections. By doing so, we can begin to integrate our shadow self into our conscious awareness, and become more whole, more balanced, and more authentic. Remember, the shadow self is not something to be feared or suppressed, but rather understood and acknowledged. It's a part of us, a part that deserves our attention, our compassion, and our love. By embracing our shadow self, we can find a sense of peace and unity that we've been searching for all along, and perhaps, just perhaps, we can become the person we've always wanted to be. In conclusion, the concept of the shadow self is a powerful reminder of the complexities and depths of the human psyche. By acknowledging and understanding our shadow self, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and perhaps, just perhaps, we can find a sense of peace and unity that we've been searching for all along. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content from Mind Psychology Daily. Join us next time as we explore more fascinating topics in the world of psychology and personal growth. And remember, the journey of self-discovery is a lifelong journey, one that requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to confront our deepest fears and desires. But the reward is well worth it, a sense of peace, unity, and fulfillment that can only be found by embracing our true, authentic selves, shadow self and all.